Hello, I'm Jeff Siegel, and welcome to SantaAnita.com and our Thursday video seminar as we look at all 8 races on today's Santa Anita program. Looks pretty interesting today. We'll kick things off in the first race with a 6.5 down the hill event for fillies and mares, and the 2 main contenders in this 6-horse field are numbers 1 and 6 on your program. Number 1 is Blue Maiden. 6 is Talk Too Much. Blue Maiden is a very talented filly. Ran with some high-quality fillies last year in Europe. She's shown some promise here in the States, freshened since Oak Tree, and now she's backing up to 6.5 furlongs and training extremely well for Richard Mandella. I would think that she's really going to fire with Rosario, so the one to beat for sure, and that is reflected in her 7-5 morning line odds. Number 1, Blue Maiden. The Talk Too Much, in for the high price tag. Disappointed, I thought, last time out in a pretty good starter race, but she's backing up in trip. I think 6.5 is okay for her. I think she'll be running on strongly late, but I think Blue Maiden may have a tad more class and tactical speed. So let's go with Blue Maiden over Talk Too Much in what looks like a very chalky opener on today's Thursday program. Second race, this is a claiming event. 3 main contenders of the 6, so it does not really look like much of a play here. Numbers 1, 2, and 5 are the ones that you have to look at. Number 1, Come Home Quick, who's capable at this level. I think the drop-in class should help. This Mark Glatt trained filly, and she's also back on the main track. Also, number 2, Judge Joan. The question mark with her is where's she been and what kind of shape she is in. She hasn't been seen since November of 2009. She is a stakes winner, showing up for $25,000. She has trained well, however, according to the reports from Mullen. So if she's ready to fire, Judge Joan definitely has a strong look here. And then All the Love with Mike Smith riding for Bruce Headley. Now, Headley hasn't won a race all meeting, so the cold barn factor might prevent you from really embracing her, but she continues to train well. She certainly has numbers that could win, so she's a major player as well. So it boils down to I don't trust any one of these 3. The 1, 2, or 5, Come Home Quick, Judge Joan, or All the Love. You can use all 3 if you're playing any kind of rolling exotics. I'm fairly confident the winner will be one of those 3. But in terms of an exacta or trifecta box in a 6-horse field, no real value there. Moving to the third race, just kicks off the pick 6. And a good grass race going 9 furlongs for maiden 3-year-olds. 3 horses here that should get most of the attention. Number 3, Parable. Number 6, Unix Dolly. And number 8, Acadian. Now, of those 3, I actually like number 8, Acadian. That's the Julio Canati trained colt. I thought he ran really well down the hill in his debut in a very fast, highly rated race. Thought he picked it up real nicely towards the end. Bred to run long for sure by Tiznow. Training well for Julio. Gomez riding him back. So even though he only has that 1 race under his belt, he looks like a quality colt, and I think he'll show it today. However, Parable has the credentials. He's coming out of a winner's race, a pretty good $50,000 claiming race in which he ran very well on this grass course. Doesn't look like the added distance should be bothering him. Now he's back against maiden, so Parable definitely with Rosario riding him back has a strong look. And then the number 6 horse in your program, Unix Dally. I thought he ran very well in a maiden race at Hollywood. Finished well, got beat ahead, good race. They tried him in a main track race to see if he could handle the dirt. That didn't work at all. So draw a line through that. He's back on the grass where he belongs. Again, continuing to train well for Craig DeLassy. And if Unix Dally runs back to his race before last, he's obviously going to be very tough. So 3, 6, and 8 if you're playing exactas or trifectas. Parable, Unix Dolly, and Acadian. Preference to number 8, Acadian. He'd be our top selection, but I would use all 3 in any rolling exotics you may want to play. Fourth race, maiden claiming race, $30,000 tag. The 2 main contenders here are numbers 1 and 3 on your program. Number 1 is Fine and Rare. 3 is Depth. Fine and Rare didn't show a thing in his only start at Pomona last year, but he was a much different horse when he made his sophomore debut last month. I thought he ran very well. 3-ride pressing the pace. Didn't change lead, still a little green, and got out-finished late, but he's come back and trained well. I think he'll make another strong forward move here, and I think if he does, Fine and Rare is clearly the best of the known element. But then you have the first-time starter who has trained well, number 3, Depth for Sadler. A series of good enough works to make him a solid fit in a maiden 32 level like this, and with Rosario taking them out, he looks very, very alive and very cranked up first track out of the box. So good, strong exacta box using these 2 horses, numbers 1 and 3, Fine and Rare and Depth. Preference to number 1, Fine and Rare, because he's had the recent race, but depth definitely has to be used. Use them both in all of your rolling exotics. 5th race, down the hill, 6.5 furlong sprint. One of the contenders I thought had a good look here, number 4, Smoky Lonesome, has been scratched. That leaves us with 2 main contenders. They are numbers 3 and 5. Number 3 is Rendezvous. 5 is Noble Court. So I'll use those 2 horses in an exacta box. Use them both in your rolling exotics as well. Rendezvous came out of a layoff and ran well in his comeback down the hill. I think he'll move forward for Hollendorfer. Very solid fit here. And also number 5, Noble Court, another one who came off a layoff. I thought he was a little rusty, but still ran well, going 7/8. Now he's on the grass. There's nothing wrong with that. He's won on the course in the past. Noble Court figures to make another forward move with Rosario taking the mount here for Sadler. Looks very, very tough. Those are the 2 I'm using, number 3 and number 5 in an exacta box. Rendezvous and Noble Court. Maybe slight preference to Noble Court, but again, use them both in your rolling exotics. 6th race, 7/8 race, very contentious allowance race here. I'm going to go 3 deep, but this is a race you may want to spread if you can afford to, because a number of contenders have a look here and they won't have to improve all that much to win. The horses I'm liking are numbers 4, 5, and 8 on your program. Number 4 is Kate's Event, 5 is a Little Dumani, and number 8 is a A+ Topper. So 4, 5, and 8 for our exacta or trifecta box. And again, use all 3 in your rolling exotics. Kate Event, I really liked his maiden win 2 races back on the main track. Came from off the pace and was up in time. Didn't quite fire as well as I thought he would on the grass, but he's back on the main track. 7 furlongs is a good distance for him. Continues to train well. So number 4, Kate's Event at 5-1 looks very, very solid here. Also number 5, a Little Dumani. I thought he ran very well, 2 turning on the grass last time. Back around 1 corner, back sprinting, back on the main track, and with Talamo taking them out, I think you'll see a Little Dumani in a great stalking position. So use number 5, a Little Dumani. And number 8, A+ Topper. He's right there with these, I think. Good outside draw, should get a good, comfortable pace. Prompting trip, solid numbers. A+ Topper should be right there in the thick of things as well. So depending upon the race shape, how fast the early pace is, if it's fast enough for Kate's Event, he'll be running late. If it's a moderate pace, a Little Dumani will be in a great stalking position, and A+ Topper should be able to draft in and be wherever he wants to be. So those are the 3 I'm using, 4, 5, and 8. Maybe slight preference to number 4, Kate's Event, but use all 3 in all of your rolling exotics. Moving now to the 7th race. This is a 6.5 down the hill event, and the 3 main contenders here all come out of the same race. They are numbers 4, 7, and 8. Number 4 is Diamond Giza, 7 is Metropolitan Man, and 8 is Celestic Knight. They all 3 ran down the hill last time out, so identical circumstances. Maybe number 4, Diamond Giza, has the most right to improve. Blinkers on today for Mike Mitchell. He's trained well since his last race. Little green in his only start. He finished 3rd, even effort. Definitely has room to improve, and if he makes that forward move, Diamond Giza can make up the 4 lengths that he was beaten by last time. Metropolitan Man, blinkers off. He's very, very fast. P-Val should have him on under the lead. If he moves forward at all in his second start, he could be very tough to beat. And Celestic Knight, well, there's nothing wrong with his last win. He looked good winning, and there's no reason to think he can't come right back and be a strong factor again. So use number 8, Celestic Knight. So 4, 7, and 8, very tough to separate them. Again, maybe Diamond Giza, he might be the best price of the 3. Maybe with the most room for improvement. Maybe he's our top selection, but again, not enough to single him. Use all 3 in your rolling exotics. 8th and final maiden claiming event to finish things off. The 3 main contenders here, numbers 2, 5, and 9 on your program. Number 2 is Jordanelle. Number 5 is Annie Lou. Number 9, Meadow Lake Queen. Jordanelle came off a long layoff, was a little rusty, finished willingly. Think she's going to improve considerably with that race under her belt for John Sheriffs. Chantal rides her back. I think you're going to see Jordanelle really fire today, and I think she's the one to beat at 4-1. Annie Lute, 7-2 in the morning line. She should be a part of that pace. She's got another one who's making her 3rd start. Definitely has room to improve. And number 9, Meadow Lake Queen, has had 10 chances, so I think she probably has the least amount of room to improve. However, she gets the outside draw on P-Val, and that's very, very dangerous. So, and she's trained well since her last race as well. So, Meadow Lake Queen, she'd be my 3rd selection, but not enough to throw her out. I don't want to get burned by P-Val again. So let's use numbers 2, 5, and 9. Preference to number 2, Jordanelle. Use all 3 in an exacta or trifecta box. Use all 3 in your rolling exotics. That finishes off our Thursday seminar. Best of luck today. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.